So I wrote that we experience emotions because of our interaction with food, not just the social setting. And on this list up here are 6 different emotions where we actually have facial expressions that come across as a result of the food or other settings that cause us these emotions. I described disgust to you, but other negative emotions would be fear, sad, angry, etc. And there are other negative emotions too. But there are positive emotions. Surprise and happy are conveyed on our face. So we think about food, we often think about why we like it. Sometimes we don't think about what that food is doing to us and what it does, what's happening. You see the food, you might smell the food or taste the food, and your senses are stimulated. And in that moment, your face moves to respond to the stimuli. Your brain is being activated, and your emotional centers, like the amygdala, are being signaled to what is going on. Simultaneously, your heart rate or your body temperature might move just small incremental increases or decreases because of the response. All of that's a lot of data that's happening in nanoseconds at the moment you're being impressed by the stimuli. The challenge we have is, in that moment, we're often not aware of what's going on. And that later, seconds later, maybe a minute or so, you think about what you've experienced and you justify that experience and you make a choice. And that choice may or may not be associated with what you actually experienced, but what you decided you experienced. So it's a cognitive interpretation. You're unaware of the in-the-moment response. That's the box. That's the boundary. What are we really experiencing? How do we know what we're experiencing? Are we even aware of what we're experiencing? We don't know. There is a lot of research in psychology, in statistics, in neurobiology, in all of these different fields that tell us information. They haven't been applied extensively to food. But it's that collection of data that's really, really important to us. When we have that opportunity, it's like looking at a cop show. They use a lot of the same techniques. They talk about it happening instantaneously and they interpret it immediately. But the reality is there's so much data that I need Dr. Feng to help me interpret this. I need big compute. Maybe not that big, but I certainly think there's a lot of information that we don't know. So we would study with electroencephalography or functional MRI. We might use sensors on your fingertip or palm to get your changes in physiological data. And we can also study the changes that are happening simultaneously on your face using those lie detection technologies of facial detection. But what all that means is still fairly unknown. And we do wish to be able to interpret that so we can move forward in understanding how people respond in the moment. And the value of that is helping us to create messages to help interpret what you need to know in order to understand what you're doing, individually and as a population. So we studied college students in relation to this healthy product called milk. Most of us drink milk. Most of us understand it's healthy for us. Many of us don't drink it very regularly, and some of us don't even like it. In fact, we asked the students first, do they like chocolate milk or white milk better? And guess what their response was? Chocolate milk. Now that's high-tech science. Actually, we weren't surprised by that response, but we needed that first piece of information. We then asked them to respond to a questionnaire that had 43 emotional terms on it, and to select, in relation to each product as they tasted it, which terms did they think fit with their experience. And those terms gave us some good information. What we learned was that there were very positive terms associated with consuming milk, and they were common for both products that they experienced. Content, calm, good, all of those top examples were frequently selected by these students. That's very good information. But what we also learned was white milk, that beautiful glass that goes well with cookies causes bored, causes worried, causes disgust. Oh my gosh, how can white milk cause disgust? This is an issue. And you know what else we learned was